Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Why the why matters so much. I'm thinking in a lot of cases, for a lot of us, if you're having any sort of struggles manifesting, and this is kind of more towards the specific person or towards love in general, that concept specifically. So if you're having issues manifesting love or a specific person, the why is something that we need to talk about, we need to understand a little better, and could very well be a large part of your problem. And I know a lot of you are like, why are you saying why? Why ask why? I always say, right? No, of course not. There's two ways to look at the why. So what I mean by that is, why are we trying to manifest love in our life? What is it that we are hoping to accomplish in this specific person that we're trying to manifest, maybe in just love in general that we're trying to manifest? Ask yourself, why am I trying to create this in my life? Why am I trying to bring Bobby back? Why am I trying to get Veronica back in my life? Why, magic mirror, am I trying to get Holly back and I'm seeming to have issues doing it? Some of us have a concept of, and this is the wrong way, so we're going to do that example first, is moving away from something. I'm trying to get away from a certain behavior. So in my mind, I'm trying to get away from feeling lonely. I'm trying to get away from this hurt that I feel inside. I'm trying to make this pain stop. I'm trying to make it so I have something to do, right? I'm lonely. When we come at it from that angle, we're actually doing ourselves a huge disservice. Versus, and I'm going to give more examples. We're going to get into this a little more deeply. But from a very general standpoint, whether or not you want to keep watching the video, right? The other side of it is moving towards something. So I'm looking to have a wonderful partner to share life with. I'm looking to enjoy life together with someone else. I'm looking to fall deeply in love and be in love with someone because it's such an amazing feeling. There's a big difference between trying to get to something versus trying to get away from something. And when you try to get away from something, you're still focusing on that something. You're basically running while looking backwards. And I'll tell you what, when you run looking backwards for any length of time at all, you're going to smack into something. You are going to smack into something. When you're running looking forwards, right? Like Forrest Gump, right? I was just running, right? You start running forward. You see that branch. You see that, right? You see the people coming, right? You are paying attention to what's going on. You're heading towards your goal, running this way, I'm running, you're running into something is what you're doing. So there's a big difference between those two mindsets. And from a standpoint of right and wrong, and you all know I don't like painting things that way, but if you're trying to create a reality and you're focusing on running away from something, that something's going to continue to come with you. It always does. People talk about it too. When you try to run away from your problems always find you. They do. You have to resolve the problem if you want it to go away. So when you're trying to create love, create a relationship with a certain somebody, Joe or Bobby or Sue or Joanne or Angela or whatever. I love throwing names out there because people they love it when I say their person's name. When you're trying to create that, you want to look at why you're trying to create it. Why this relationship matters so much to you. Now, ways to help, and this is true. So my point is, one, if we're trying to manifest something, keep the why in mind. It is very important. Look at what it is. Are you trying to make the pain stop? Are you trying to, I'll use some of the bad words because we're going to get into some of this, but some of the bad words. Are you trying to get rid of something? Are you trying to not do something? Are you trying to avoid something? Are you trying to make something stop? Then you're going about it wrong. You are. If what you're trying to create is love, and especially with the specific person, and you're looking at it from a standpoint of trying to get rid of, stop, remove, ignore, create, if you're looking at it from that standpoint, the reason your success is failing is because you're coming at it from the wrong way. You're focusing on the wrong thing. You're creating more of what it is that you're trying to get rid of. So what we want to talk about is a great technique of kind of really working through the why. Asking yourself why, and then get a piece of paper. Or you can do it digitally if you want. It's fine. but literally write it down, create words, look at something, make it a list that you can visually look at. There's a power to seeing it. There's a power to seeing it, and there's a power to actually really maybe even rewording it after you've done it once or twice. But write down why you're interested. Now, obviously, with our newfound knowledge, we want to phrase these things in a positive. We want to phrase it in a way that's actually going to be beneficial to creating this reality, right? I mean, if you're having some struggles and you've been focusing on the negative, let's not keep doing that. Let's focus on more positive, more uplifting, more emotionally beneficial language, and focus at it from that standpoint. Now, to the naysayers, first off, and for those of you that aren't, of course, this is no big deal, but it's not just about the positive language. It's not. It's not just think good thoughts and everything's good. Just use good words and everything works out. No, that's not how law of attraction really works. Law of attraction is what you focus on conceptually, or an idea or an image, any of these things. Like, what you focus on is what you create more power towards, more energy towards, more of your creative juices are pushing in that direction. And so by focusing on things that are from more of a positive angle versus more of a negative angle, the reason that works more is because you're focused on where you're going versus trying to get away from where you were. Best examples I can throw at you right now, and I use them frequently, but they're really good examples. When it comes to trying to maintain your health, and you would like to be healthy, focusing on being healthy, and like, I've got a great, like, here's the ways I usually think of it in my mind. I've got a great immune system, so being around people like, they're like, oh, I don't want to get you sick. It's like, nah, no worries, man. I got a great immune system. Germs are something that we all are exposed to, and I deal with them well. I'm fine. You know, I take care of myself. Life is good. All these things I'm saying are very positive, very promoting towards healthy. What a lot of people do is, oh, I better take this echinacea. I don't want to get sick. Oh, I better take these zinc lozenges because I've been around people that have been ill. Oh, I shouldn't be around them. Oh, I should put my mask on so I don't get their germs. We give power to the thing that we're trying to get away from. We're trying to talk about this thing that's bad, but in a negative way. We use words like not, and I want to avoid that, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and I should stay away from that, and I'm trying to stop that. Understand that by focusing on that, you continue to create it. I don't care what words you use. Universe does, well, universe doesn't go, well, you put the word not in there, so obviously I understood what you're doing. No, you're focusing on it. Whether I not, do, though, for, to, from, whatever, like, it doesn't matter. You're still looking at it. You're still focusing at it. You're still running, looking backwards. Running. You're still doing it. That's why you get more of that. That's why I talk about when you're manifesting and you're looking at your right now and you're like, well, I don't have it right now. So, right. You're going to continue not to have it so long as you keep noticing right now you don't have it. What are you putting your focus on? So, of course, on the standpoint of why we're trying to do it, you want to make sure that you're focusing why in the direction of where you're going, not in the opposite of what you used to have, not trying to get rid of your health. Money's kind of a similar thing, too, where a lot of us are like, I want more money. I want more money. Oh, I can't afford that. Ooh, no, I don't want to do that because I can't afford it. Ooh, I shouldn't. Ooh, I need to clip my coupons. Like, whatever, right? I mean, it's one thing to look at, like, prices and go, well, yeah, it's the same thing. Let's pay less money, right? I'll get the store brand, right? That's fine. I mean, I've been very, very tight on money in my life, too, and tried to work on manifesting. And I'll tell you, when you're very poor and very broke, it's really hard to manifest money because you're so focused on how I don't have any money. So really, from my standpoint, it was more of okay, I got to find a better job that pays more money. And that's really how I expanded my money rather than just trying to manifest money out of thin air and, I'm rich. I know how to spend money. In fact, my girlfriend's mom was pretty wealthy, and her way of trying to manifest more money was actually just to spend it like it was going out of style. But the problem was her job never changed. So that really isn't, in my mind, a very good way. She had a very fixed income, and she was trying to get into all these other things, but she could never really focus on any one of them. She was very scattered, and so she felt if I spend more money, I'll make more money. Well, she ended up getting herself in a huge amount of debt. Now, maybe not for everybody that's the case, but really what it is you focus on like expanding yourself out. How can I expand myself? How can I make myself larger? How can I become a better girlfriend, boyfriend? The why, back to the point of this whole show. But again, all these things tie together. That's why I feel like this is a neat way to put some spotlight on this concept of what we focus on. So the why, very important. Write them down. Put them in some sort of positive, uplifting language. Again, you're trying to focus on where you're going. So words like get rid, not, avoid, stop, those things shouldn't end up in your wording. Now, I understand for a lot of us, focusing on what we actually want can be a bit challenging. So if you have to, you can write down the negative, but if you're doing that, you must then take that negative and turn it into a positive. So maybe I'm trying to avoid being hurt, and that's where you're at right now in your thought process. That is not going to manifest you what you're after, saying I am trying to avoid being hurt. That has to change, right? So we can write that, and we'll take trying to avoid being hurt, and then you turn that into to experience a wonderful relationship, to feel the joy of being in a relationship with someone that cares about me, to feel the wonder and amazement of being in a relationship that's with someone, to be in a healthy relationship with someone, to be in a relationship where we get to enjoy and experience life together. Again, I'm not focusing on, I'm trying not to hurt. I'm trying not to feel bad. I'm trying to be in a good, healthy relationship where they love me, I love them, where we trust each other completely, where everything, like we're going to have kids together, where they're thinking about my well-being, where they're worried about us as a family. Like, start to think about what it is that you want. Why are you after love? Is it to experience the joy and wonder and amazement? Good words, by the way. Or is it to stop hurting? Stop feeling pain. I just want this to stop. No. You're focusing on what I don't want. You're looking backwards. What do you want? Even if it's with someone that you've got history with, what do you want with them? I know you want to be back together. Back together is not really a good way to look at it either. Being together is. Back together implies right now I'm separate. Right now, we're not together. Right now, I want to change that. I want to avoid being apart. Let's be back together. How about I just want to be with this person I love? Why does it have to be back together? You're not together right now. I always talk about your right now. Who cares about your right now? Your right now doesn't really matter in the standpoint of what you're trying to create. Your right now is obviously missing the thing that you're trying to create. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to create it. So look to where you want to go. Look at why you're trying to get there. Because the why is really that motivation inside. It's that part, that voice, that inside. It's the doubter. The why handles the doubter. I did a video, maybe I'll link it if I remember. Affirmations versus afformations. I think I said it the other way, but it doesn't matter. Affirmations handle the why. Affirmations are just a statement, a blind statement without the why. I love them. We're going to be together. Okay, but why? Well, because I really enjoy being with them. They're fun to be around. These, again, we want to write down the whys. I enjoy them. They're fun to be around. They're intelligent. We have great conversations. Our kids would be beautiful. I just love being around them. Time seems to stop or stand still when we're together. These are reasons why you would do an affirmation to say we're going to be together. Why? Because, oh my God, we have so much in common. We're great together. We look good together. You've seen how photogenic we are. Like, you ever just take a picture with someone and you're like, my God, we belong together. Like, I love that. I love when you see that and you're like, we look good together. That's when you know you're with someone that you belong with, right? Like, these are things. These are the whys. And when you've got the why covered and the why's in the right direction, you're unstoppable. Because the doubts don't happen. Your questions don't happen. You're not as worried about the right now as much. Because Well, why? Because I love them. So of course that's what I'm going to have. So of course I'm going to focus on that. Of course I'm going to keep this version of us in mind because that's the version of us that we become. Now, you don't say it like that, but that's the reality of it, right? So that's who I am right now. I'm focusing on this. I am this person. And as it condenses, as time, as moments move together, you will be drawn to this place, time and space, from a physics standpoint, literally. This time-space dimension, you'll be there together. It's how it works. And so whatever has to happen to get you to that will happen. It's kind of like it's like the room in front of you, right? It hasn't been created yet, right? You can see like 20 feet out in front of you has been created, right? So where you are right now, what's in front of you right now is there. And then you take a step forward and another step past that starts to materialize, right? And as you take another step forward, just past that starts to materialize. So just barely off in the distance, you start to see things come into materialization. They start to show. That's kind of what our indications are. That's kind of what those signs are. That's what all that stuff is. It's showing. It's the flickers and the glimmers that are just off in the distance, that are just starting to come into physicality. And that's what you're starting to experience. By staying focused out there, you're creating this new reality. This new thing is happening in front of you. By looking back behind you, you just keep creating more of the same that's back behind you. So keeping that concept in mind, especially with the why, the part of us that doubts, the part of us that questions, and that's why it's the why. It's the part of you that's going to be like, but why? Why are we doing that? Why is that true? Why does this work? This does, you start to doubt things because you don't have an answer to why. Well, because everyone says so. That doesn't work. Because anyone that's been successful says focus on what it is you're trying to accomplish. Everyone that's been successful says that. That's an easier answer with why. Anyone that's successful. I always say, well, the adage goes, for those that can, do. For those that can't, teach. Now, it's odd because I like to do both. But I don't have a lot of time to teach. I'm busy doing, right? And that's kind of how it should be. And for those of us that are, quote, coaches, make sure you're doing it also. Don't just be someone that talks about it, because it's really easy to talk about things, but when you're actually living it and doing it, then it becomes much easier to truly coach people through it. And again, I'm still learning every day, but I'm doing good, and I'm growing, I'm enjoying it. It's a fun freaking ride. So stay focused out on where you're going. I've definitely got stuff out that I'm working towards. And I'm enjoying the ride, and I'm seeing it happen. And every step I take forward, it's materializing more and more. Just last week, I was traveling. That's why I haven't done a show in a while. I was a very successful trip. Things are working. Things are coming together. A lot of good things are happening in my life, and I'm noticing it. So again, these techniques work when you stay focused on it. A lot of stuff, is meant to get you to image and imagine and all this, but if you don't really have a good sense of focus, if you don't really have the why part covered, and you're doing it for negative reasons, you're at odds with yourself. So now, yeah, I'm doing this imaginal work, but then I doubt myself every moment of the day, or I spend a bunch of time focusing where I'm at right now, not the thing I just spent an hour imagining. And then I spend another 16 hours noticing how I'm not having that. Well, there you go. That's why you don't have that. Spend 15 of those 16 hours going, yeah, that's what I'm going to have. That's where I'm heading. That is the reality that I am creating. I will experience that. I'm going there. That is, whatever. You can fight the words all you want, but ultimately you're still focused on where you're going. Well, you said you will be there. Yeah. You're not right now, right? I mean, if we're going to debate the words, are you right now? Then yeah, I guess you will be. Technically, that's grammatically correct. And again, you're focused on where you're going, and your reasons for doing it are solid. You're going to get that. You're going to get it. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. It's a reality that's becoming. Stay focused. Keep going towards it. Keep going towards it. Doesn't matter what right now has. Keep going. You're so close. And a lot of us, that's the thing. So just take a moment of stock, write down the whys, a few of them. Why do you love this person so much? Write them down. Keep them positive. If you have to go negative, then make sure you figure out a way to make it positive. I gave an example of that. Go back a little bit in the video, watch it again. Again, if you have to write it negative, you are not allowed to keep it that way, and I don't necessarily want you striking through it. Replace it. Even if you have to write it underneath it and then delete it, or, write it on a new piece of paper, right? That'd be the other side of it. If you got to write it negative and you're writing it, handwriting it, then fix it, write it positive, then rip that paper out, do a new one that's only the positives, and leave that. Make that the thing you stare at. Make that the thing that you look at daily. Make that the thing you tape up on your wall, that you put next to your vision board, whatever. You will be amazed at the power of how that will work for you. I'm guaranteeing this is going to make a difference in your life. It's the best. Hopefully you guys enjoy what's going on. If you have, please subscribe. Love that when you guys do that. Always appreciative. Share, like, all that good stuff. What I really, really appreciate, put comments. Man, I love it when you guys talk to each other. I love it when you guys share with each other. I love it when you put stuff out there. I mean, I read it too. I know it's for me in a lot of cases for a lot of you, but it's there for all of us. So put some comments in there. Certainly ask for future show topics, some of my favorite stuff. And I really think that's the community that really is coming together that matters the most. It brings all of us closer together. It brings all of us in the same circle where we can talk and share and help each other realize maybe we're not focusing on where we should be going, and more are trying to put a not in the sentence like I'm not sick or I'm not, right? Don't do it that way. That's not how you want to do it. So keep it focused on where you're going, and you will be amazed at the progress. And then again, the indications will show the little things that are creating right out in front of you, like every step you take, it starts to materialize. Those indicators will be there. Those signs that so many of us love will show up then. You don't do it for the signs. If that's part of your why, don't. I'm not doing it so I can see signs. No, you're doing it so you can be with the person you love. Signs will then show themselves. They will indicate where you're heading. Keep focused on it. And don't get worried about the signs as much. Just let them show. Let them pass. It's kind of like when you meditate and weird thoughts pop into your head. It's all right. Let them go. It's perfectly okay to see things you don't necessarily like. It's when you fixate on them that you create problems for yourself. Again, what are you focused on? When you fixate on something, you're creating more power to that. Stop. Let it go. It's okay. It's contrast. This is what I'm going to create. Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, they're with a third party. Doesn't matter. The person, he's not going to be with her when we're together. That's for sure. So keep going there. Don't worry about it. Seriously, it'll get better. Hopefully this makes a difference for all of you. Dan RadioStyle.